Chapter 4. Sutji said, the merchant prayed first and then gave some wealth to the Brahmin before starting his journey towards home. When they went little further, Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji wanted to test them. He took the disguise of an old man and went up to the merchant and asked him, "What is in your boat? Give me little from there." In his ego and pride, the merchant replied, "O old man, we have nothing in our boat except hay and leaves." On hearing such harsh words of the merchant, the Lord said, "Your words will be true." So saying, he went from there and sat on the bank of the river. When the Lord went away, the boat started to rise higher in the water. The merchant was surprised at this. When he went to check in the boat, he saw that his boat was filled with leaves and hay only. Seeing this, he fainted. When he came to his senses, he was very much worried. He said, "How could this happen?" At this, his son-in-law told him, "Do not cry over this. All this has happened because you spoke harshly to the old man and lied to him. Still nothing is lost. You could go back to him and ask for forgiveness, and he will set everything right." The merchant, after hearing the words of his son-in-law, went in search of the old man. He bowed down before him and with respect said, "O Lord, please forgive me for the false, harsh words that I have spoken to you." So saying, he bowed down with tears of sorrow in his eyes. When the Lord saw the merchant in his state of sorrowness and crying for forgiveness, he said, "Do not cry, listen to me. O foolish person, due to your false promise, you have seen all this sorrow and suffering." On hearing the Lord say this, the merchant said, "O Lord, nobody can recognize your Maya. Not even the gods or Brahmins know your ways and forms. I promise that I will pray to you." So saying, he asked for forgiveness. He said, "Please forgive me and let my boat be filled with wealth once again like before." On hearing the merchant's words, filled with bhakti, the Lord was happy and he fulfilled his wish. When the merchant mounted his boat and saw it full with wealth again, he thanked the Lord and said, "With Lord Satyanarayan Ji's grace, my wish is fulfilled. When I reach home, I will do his prayer and fast." So saying this, he left homewards. When the merchant saw that his hometown Ratanpur is nearing, he sent a messenger in advance to his house to inform his wife and daughter of his homecoming. The messenger, on reaching the merchant's house, bowed down to the merchant's wife and gave them the most awaited news that the merchant and his son-in-law have reached Ratanpur. Leelavati had just finished doing her Satyanarayan Puja. She told her daughter to finish doing the prayer and then come and receive her husband and her father. Kalavati finished doing her quickly and without taking the prasad left to meet her husband. The Lord got angry at her behavior, so he drowned her husband with the boat. When Kalavati did not see her husband, she was shocked and she fainted on the floor. On seeing his daughter in this state of affairs and the sudden disappearance of the boat, the merchant was shocked. He prayed to Lord Satyanarayan Ji and asked him for forgiveness and prayed to the Lord to take them out of this difficulty. The Lord then made an announcement, "O merchant, your daughter in a hurry to meet her husband, has left my prasad. Hence you cannot see her husband. Now, when she goes back and takes the prasad with due respect and then returns, only then she will see her husband. On hearing the voice, Kalavati ran home, ate the prasad, and came back and met her husband. When the merchant saw this, he was very happy. The merchant then did Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji's prayers and fast with his family every month. Finally, he had all the pleasures of life, and after death he went to heaven. So this chapter of Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji is over. All chant and say, Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji ki Jai. Chapter 5. Sut Ji said, O people, listen further to another story. A king named Tungdhwaj was famous for his generosity to his subjects, but he had to suffer a lot due to the disrespect he had shown to the prayer of Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji and his prasad, which he did not accept when it was offered to him. One day, when hunting in a forest, he sat down under a tree. There he saw a few villagers doing the prayer of Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji. The king saw all this, but due to his false ego, neither did he join them nor bowed down to the idol of the Lord. When the villagers gave him the prasad, he did not accept it and went away from there. When the king reached his kingdom, he saw that everything was destroyed and all his 100 sons were lying dead on the floor. The king realized that this had happened all due to his false ego, so thinking, he started walking towards the place where the villagers were doing their prayers. There, with them, he did the prayers of Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji and had the prasad and charanamrit, that is made of milk, sugar, curd, tulsi leaves and honey mixed all together, and put it in all his sons' mouths. By doing this, all his sons became all right. He got back all his wealth and comforts of life, and finally in the end, after he died, he went to heaven. Anybody who keeps this fast with full faith and recite the prayers of Lord Satyanarayan Ji, all his wishes will be fulfilled. With the grace of the Lord, he will get eternity. The wealthless will receive wealth and will go to heaven, and finally will come out of the circle of birth and death. The names of the persons who kept this fast and took rebirth are as follows. The Brahmin took birth as Sudama, and in his entire life he served Lord Krishna and attained moksha. King Ulkamukh took birth as King Dashrath, and in that life he became the father of Lord Rama and attained eternity. The merchant took birth as King Murad, who cut his son in half and offered to the Lord and got moksha. King Tungdhwaj took birth as Kevat, who took Lord Rama across the river, served him and got moksha. In this way, whoever does Lord Shri Satyanarayan's prayer will be free from all sorrows and will ultimately reach heaven and get moksha. This chapter of Lord Shri Satyanarayan is over. All chant and say, Lord Shri Satyanarayan Ji ki Jai.